Did you see what happened in Philly when the Gay Pride Parade met Free Palestine? And
it was a
clashed?
Fight. Yeah, it was a clash.
They clashed.
Kurt Metzger would call that, the great Kurt Metzger would call that, I believe, an intersectional car crash.
It was funny. They were saying you can't march because Palestine's not free. You got to stop right here.
Yeah.
We're more important. This is more important.
It was weird watching
happy.
it because they were like, there's no joy. No one should be happy. I think Pride is very silly that it's a whole month. That's very silly. If you look at what was done to black people and you look at what was done to gay people, it's insane that Pride is a full month. A couple of weekends, maybe one or two. The idea that it's a full month is nuts.
Well, how about there's only Veterans Day?
Right. There's one day for veterans, and there's an entire month.
Memorial Day. There's Veterans Day, Memorial Day.
And what the month of Pride allows people to do is it allows corporations to just talk about, how down they are with fisting. That's really all it is.
Why
it's
don't
just
we have a
Capital
Veterans
One
Month?
going, you come, it's like we will, you can, and I say that as an out gay guy who has no problem with people going to pride parades and having fun. I don't think 9-year-olds should be there.
How old do you think is the cutoff?
I mean, when your kids are in their teens, perhaps, if they're in their older teens, I just think kids should be...
Legal teens, you mean?
No, I mean, I don't think a 13-year-old needs to be there either. I think
17?
17
and know he's gay.
17, or they could just... 17 and they're like
Curious?
mature enough to handle what's going on.
Are they, though?
I don't know, but I mean, it depends. Like, again,
I'm not mature enough to handle what's going on in the Pride Parade.
Well, I don't know. The Pride Parades have gone off the chain. I mean, they've gone off the chain. But, people dressing up like dogs and stuff is crazy.
Congressman.
But, like, to me, I've always felt that, like, if you're going to go out and have a party where people are getting drunk and hooking up and dancing, anybody who's legally underage shouldn't be there. So 17 is right on the cusp, and then 18 and everything is fine. But to me, it's like, I don't think it belongs for kids. That's clearly, it doesn't belong for kids.
Well, people want to do it to show their kids tolerance and acceptance.
But you don't have, that's not.
That's not how you have to do it. It's very sexualized. That's the thing about
sexualized.
Pride is like, yeah, sure, you should celebrate the fact that gays are free to get married and they have all the same rights as everybody else, as they should. But it's sexual.
Yes.
It's like a lot of guys with thongs on.
Well, it's like spring break,
yeah,
right?
It's wild.
It's like, would you take your 10-year-old to spring break to show, to teach them tolerance? No.
Right.
You wouldn't do that. That's kind of straight pride. Spring break is a bunch of people going to get fucked up in Florida.
Right.
And they're going to fight each other and have sex. And you wouldn't take your young children to see that. I don't see the reason to take your kids to a highly sexualized parade.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You want to take them to an event that's not as sexualized? Like maybe a mother would tell her kids, like, your father's getting an award. He's gay. He's getting an award. That's why it didn't work out with us. Your father's gay. He's a faggot, and we're watching him get an award tonight.
How many of those
because he wrote a book?
Poor bastards are out there in marriages right now. That
Probably a lot. There's probably a lot of
just
them.
trapped.
But
can't
you know
be
what
themselves.
it is? Nothing's great. You probably have a fine wife. Nothing's great. Listen, continue to do things on the DL. Just don't give her AIDS. And this is not a popular thing to say it during Pride. There's so many political attachments to being gay now. If you're a closeted guy, just fuck your wife once a month, cheat on her, don't give her AIDS, and just keep the family tight. And I know that that's probably not popular, but I mean, now's not it's just, if you're 60, are you going to come out? I mean, do we really need people coming out in their 70s? Do we need this? To be very honest, there's a window of which you can get honest. If you don't, double down on the lie. I think that's a great strategy for all of life. I think there's a window to be honest.
Right.
It's not forever.
Right.
Nobody wants somebody coming out in their 50s, 60s. It's like enough
on their
already.
deathbed.
Yeah, it's on their deathbed. Oh, so now you've lied the whole time?
Right.
Just keep it a secret. Just keep it a secret.
Not a bad piece of advice.
It's not a bad piece of advice. Happy Pride. But it is, I do feel that way. I think that
For some people.
yeah.
Some people probably can't handle a change.
Yeah, some people.
It's a big shift.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's I mean,
Big shift.
it's also weird now because people. It's like, what are you coming out as? If you want to have sex with dudes, you want to have sex with women, and then you're like, okay, so then I'm gay or lesbian, but then you're like, what is the LGBTQIA2 thing? What is that flag?
You could be a two-spirit.
Two-spirit, yeah.
That's what two is.
The fact that we allow that is hilarious.
No, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
And I like how A's in there.
The asexuals.
Like you're asexual.
Yeah.
You don't have a fucking dog in this race.
If you go, okay, so I have this, and then I have a flag I don't understand. Nobody understands the flag.
Keeps getting bigger.
Indigenous?
Keeps changing.
What a white gay people, and I'm not saying indigenous people don't have issues, but what do white gay people have anything to do with the indigenous community? Like,
They're just trying to develop a gang.
Yeah, it's right. It's like, why would they pretend to understand like what indigenous people go
Right.
through?
How did the I get in there? It used to be we were making fun of putting the trans people and
Yes.
the lesbians in with the gays.
Yes.
Which are very different things.
Well, lesbians are going away. Barry Weiss is the final lesbian. Did you know that?
No.
She's the final one. That's it.
The final countdown.
That's it. Barry Weiss. It's it. And do you know in Israel they canceled the Pride Parade this year?
Why?
Because their gay pride flag, they made the yellow, I think, bigger because of the hostages.
Oh, wow.
So they would not have a gay pride parade. And they're also using all the material that they would have used in the pride parade to carpet bomb civilian areas of Rafah.